Alright, that's everything. So without further ado, with all that intro stuff out of the way, we're going to get into an actual run. And what I'm going to do, because I haven't really done this kind of thing before, I'm just basically going to play through a beginner route, and I'm going to avoid using all unnecessary tech. And this is just a route and a playthrough that will just get you through the game. And then as you get through runs and start feeling more comfortable, you can then start incorporating more of the advanced strategies, which you can see in the guide up in the description, which has GIFs and demonstrations for every single advanced and intermediate technique. And if you feel comfortable moving on to a harder route, you can then watch the video for the intermediate route that should be coming out very shortly if it's not already online. So let's just start and we'll get right into it. This is true of both console and PC. The first thing you can do is pause to skip Prologue, then pause to quit the menu, and then load back into your game. This just takes a little bit shorter than watching the Prologue, obviously, than watching the cutscene where it respawns. So first of all, we move to the right, and we want to pick up 400 Spirit Light for Ophir. We want to get 300 of that before we reach Ophir. So there's one here, and there's one down here, you can see my mouse, but if you step on this log, it'll start to break. So what you want to do is drop down and jump a few times, and you'll end up over here. And this is what it looks like the log breaks. If you don't get that Spirit Light and the log breaks, it's still okay, because later in the run we'll be coming back here. We can get that 50 Spirit Light another time. It's just for slightly quicker stuff, you want to get to it before the log breaks. So 50 more in there. I'm just going to be dropping down and getting the torch now. Pretty much the whole time we want to just drop down every time we can here at the start of the game. And over here to the left, you want to upswing into walls, because that's slightly quicker. Here you can damage tank that thing, or you can not damage tank. It's not really a huge deal, like that spike there, because we're going to be getting a health pickup in a second anyway. As long as we have 2 health coming down here, it's fine. We're going to drop down here, and we're going to pick up this health regen here. It'll pop up a little dialogue box, and then we're going to enter this fight here, which triggers the small cutscene with this guy. And for him, you basically want to just move into him and mash up slash, which is a pretty safe way of dealing with him. And that should do it. And now, while this is over here, we're going to basically just move to the right and just mash slashes, and that broke this wall over here. There was a wall right here, and because you just move forward to the right and just mash slashes, you'll mash into this Spirit Light Orb and pick it up. It doesn't really matter if you don't get it while the door is unlocking, it's just that slightly faster. So here we're going to just grab the blue moss and climb all the way up now. And we're going to get this keystone on the left over here. Again, just a little box that comes up. For mashing through those kind of dialogue boxes, you can mash any of the face buttons. I don't know about keyboard, I think for that you can mash, again, any of your action buttons, you know, like any of these things, plus your jump button. So here I mash X, because it's not tied to jump, so I won't accidentally jump after the cutscene ends. So now we have 2 keystones, we're going to just head back the way we just came. And once we get up here, we're going to head to the right into the Howl fight. And here, I'm going to do every single quit to menu in this, even though it'll be more time consuming, you know, for you to watch, obviously. But just to show where you can quit to menu. If you're not really keen on the idea of doing up, you know, loads of quit to menus and stuff, then feel free to take those out. I think speedrunning is a very personal thing, and whatever you find the most fun way of doing the run, I think is the most important thing. Also on console, that kind of quit to menu you wouldn't do. I'll only bring up, I'll specify for console, this is a quit to menu for you if I do one for you. But yeah, coming up here is the Howl fight, and for this first section, this is just an auto-scroller, so you can't really do anything to make this faster, just jump through. So for Howl, again, like before, we want to just basically mash up slashes even. But we don't want to go too far to the left because he has an insta-kill hitbox just below him. So, basically, we're going to wait until his health bar appears. He doesn't take damage at all then. So now, 1, 2, 3, 4. Get one on the way back. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2 to the right. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. And that should be him dead. You can also do a quit to menu here. So after Howl, we're just going to basically jump down into Howl's den. You can just fall all the way. And head up to the right here. And here the game's going to lock you to a walk, but just keep holding right the whole time. And then once we reach these two little mushroom things here, we're going to pause and skip cutscene. It's a little bit after reaching that, so right about now. And now we want to equip our swords and get into it. For the sword, it's not quicker to mash up slash. You want to go back to doing regular slashes again. And we're going to head up and over here. And now there's an optional thing here. Which with this shard here, and this shard is magnet, which makes things float to you, and this just makes things a bit easier because you'll be getting more health. But it's completely optional whether or not you actually take it or not. But I think it does make things easier. Here, you want to quit to menu at this Loki cutscene. This is one that applies to console players as well, because this cutscene is about 30 seconds long, so it's quick to just quit to menu. And then we're going to drop down here. And behind this breakable wall on the left is some more spirit light. And we're going to head over to the left, and before we jump up there, we want to pull this rock over to... So it's on the bridge, basically. And then from this rock, you can just jump up here. And now here is the first skip, basically. If this one's too difficult for you, you can just head up here and do the combat arena. This only saves about 30 seconds, which when you're first learning isn't really a huge deal. But basically what we're going to do is, this like mushroom thing, the right hand side of this can be dropped free. Oh, also I'm not sure if I mentioned, but debug mode, you can move yourself around with the right analog stick. But you can't drop through the left hand side of it. So you want to stand so we're past this middle point. And then what you want to do is just duck through and then just mash slashes over to your left, which you'll see on my controller cam. And you'll make it to this section where normally you can't make this jump. So again, just... And there you go. You can literally just mash as fast as you want, and you'll always make it over here. So from here, we want to head down, and just head up this section. And pick up our first ability, besides sword, which is double jump. And this is another quick to menu. So here, this is another optional thing. Over here to your left, if you jump up here, you can pick up sticky. And sticky obviously lets you just, you know, climb onto walls like this. This just makes movement easier for some people, but it's completely optional. Personally, I actually don't like using it, so I'm going to turn it off. But some people prefer it, so again, up to you. And we're going to just head down here the way we just came. You can try to go for this jump if you want, otherwise you can just head over here and do it the normal way. Careful not to head too far over, because you'll trigger the combat arena. And now here, we need to go down and get this keystone. So, we're going to head down here, and jump over to this lever, and pull it. This is also the only lever in the game you can't quit to menu, so be sure to remember that. If these slimes are in annoying positions, you can hit them off the wall and then jump cancel your up slash there like that. And that will get them off the wall into a nicer position for you. We're just going to head down here and push the rock over here and pick up this keystone. And then we're just going to jump out of the abyss cave thing. And again, just basically back up the way we came back to Howl's Den. From here, we're going to head left, and there's a keystone up from here that we want to pick up. Just here, and then there's another keystone door here. We can again quit the menu just to save time in opening it. And we're going to head over here. I'm going to just go through this section as normal. After breaking through here, we're going to head to the lower level here. And at this lower level, there's this wall here. It takes 5 hits, unlike most things in the game. And it gives us the first of our 2 health cells we're planning to pick up. Over here, up in the left, before we head up, there's some spirit light in here. That gives us the 300 we want before Ophir. Then we're going to jump up to the top left here, and we're going to be breaking through another wall to pick up Reckless. We're actually not going to be putting on Reckless yet. It makes us deal and take more damage, and we're going to wait until some later bosses before we put that on. We're just going to jump down here and pick up Regenerate. And again, we can do a quick to menu. Regenerate lets you heal up. It's actually mandatory for some advanced techniques, but for now we're just getting it for comfort's sake. You know, you just take the time to heal up if you want. It's possible to make this jump up here, not with just a double jump, as you can see. But you can do an up slash and then jump cancel that into this. That's slightly advanced though, so don't worry if you can't do it. I'm just saying it because it's a way to speed up your movement early in the game. You can just do it that way as well. Heading up here, we can just jump to this wall and then head up. We're pretty much going back to the start of the game here, and we're going to be heading right instead of down. Now it's daytime, so you may not recognize it, but this is the second chance to get this spirit light over here if you missed it the first time. You can just head in here and get it. And over here is Ophir, who's going to give us, well, he's going to sell us our first thing, but we don't quite have enough money for him yet. So first we're going to just mash through his dialogue, mash through this cutscene, watching Shriek. And then you want to mash your B or your cancel button here, just to quit out of the shop as quickly as you can. Then we're going to head down and break this log. And hug the right wall here so you don't fall in the water like that. And then there's some spirit light over here. I'm going to jump into it. And this one's 100, so it'll be another pickup you can just mash through. And then we're going to climb out here. This jump can be a bit finicky, so don't worry about going over to the left instead. And then to get back up there as quickly as we want, I'll show you the quickest way, and then the way that you can do it if this is a bit of a struggle for you. So you want to stand about here and then move to the left as the mantis jumps over, and then you can down slash off him, which will give you the boost to get to this vine up here. So I stand about here, move to the left, poke off him, then climb up, and I can get over here. Now I'm going to just kill him and just get him out of the way. And this is how you would do it if you don't, if you're not confident in that pogo. You would just do it the normal way. You would climb up onto this, and from here you can just about double jump over, and then head over to Ophir. And from him, we want to buy Sentry. It's the first one selected, so it should just, you can just hold A, but be absolutely certain you're buying Sentry, because otherwise you will not be able to do the run. So equip Sentry, and then we're just going to Sentry jump over here to the right. Sometimes you get lower height sentries like that. That could happen either if you're a frame off, or unfortunately, basically due to RNG, due to the frame rate fluctuating slightly. It's not too common though, so normally it's down to your execution error rather than the RNG. For here, we can just do another sentry jump up here, and land on this. Then we can just head over here to the right. And it's going to be a cutscene to skip through in a second. Pretty much like wherever I did there was where to do it. And then there's actually up here just for the sake of going faster. Pull this lever and quit to menu. And whenever you quit to menu, the game also gives you 1 energy back and 4 health, which we don't have 4 health yet. So that means we can use that energy to sentry jump back up here. Now if you're on console and not doing that quit to menu, you can instead just grab this energy crystal here, and you'll have enough energy to do that on the way back. Another tree, so another quit to menu. And now we have the bow. And we're not actually going to use the bow too much outside this first part and then combat. So we're going to duck down here and get this energy cell fragment, equip our bow, and then we're going to sentry jump back out rather than leaving it on the way to get out the normal way. Now this mosquito can be kind of annoying. I'm just going to kill him just for the sake of demonstrating this next part. So to get up here, we're meant to use the bow, but instead we can do this route using this energy and a sentry jump. So we're going to stand here on the far right, because you can see there's some spikes up there. We want to avoid those. Stand on the far right after picking up that energy, and then sentry jump up. Grab this energy, and you can either do a sentry jump into firing your bow, like that. But if that's a bit too hard for you, you can just do this normal way by just heading over like this. Oh, this guy's in the way. And then you would shoot that at the ice stone and pick it up. Right, over here to the left now, doing the exact same thing. No need to sentry jump because we have the spring here. You can pick up this ice stone. And now, as soon as this cutscene begins, we're going to do a quick menu. This one's not for console players, but don't worry, there's going to be some free energy coming up in a second. So here's going to be Twillin and some energy. We're going to ignore Twillin and get the energy here. And now you can either do this the normal way, where you proc this and then you jump up here and pick up the health cell, or you can do it the slightly quicker way by just simply jumping up and then picking up the health cell like this. And that's going to be the second of our life cell fragments, the only other one we're picking up in the run, so that gives us a bit more health to work with. So we're going to head down over here, and I'm just going to get this guy out of the way just for the sake of demonstration. Just for the sake of demonstration, sorry. What we're going to do is sentry jump up here, and then we're going to sentry jump again, and over to here. And that guy can be annoying, so you either want to jump out of the way of him, just loading the save file again to show you, or we want to shoot the bow at him. I'll give myself a little more energy to work with the show. Shoot the bow, and then there we go. And now this thing looks like you have to shoot the bow at it, but you can actually just double jump and you can reach it normally. And then this is another quick to menu on this lever pull. So heading down here, we're going to be picking up some more energy over here to the right. And for this section, what you can do is just shoot the bow over here, and then as you're jumping over, shoot the bow again, and you'll land over here. Alternatively, what you can do is you can jump, and then double jump, and then just mash slashes, and you can make it all the way over here without that. Here, we want to pick up this energy as well, and we want to shoot this ice stone. We don't want to shoot the one on the left, just this one here. So after shooting this one, pick up the energy and sentry jump up here, and then we want to pull this rock, and then I have to push it the rest of the way. And as we push it off, it'll just bounce down like so. And then we want to pull it onto the switch. Here, again, we can just do a sentry jump up here, which is a bit quicker. And here, I don't know why he died. Here, we're going to pick up this energy and shoot the bow over here and do another sentry jump up. Again, you can do this the casual way, where you just shoot that with the bow and then wall jump up instead. It's entirely up to you. I'm showing off every sentry jump that saves time as well, but I'll explicitly mention when a sentry jump is absolutely necessary. So far there haven't been any that the run can't work without. So here, let me show that jump again actually. So what we want to do is we don't want to go down here, we want to go all the way to the right. So we want to get as far to the right here as we can and just do a full jump off and then a double jump onto here. You can also double jump to this wall and from there double jump to here. Jumping from here over to here isn't really possible, you have to take some damage, which is obviously less than ideal. So yeah, we want to jump from up here on the left if we can. Let's just get him out of the way. So we want to just do a sentry jump here, and then head out the way we came. If we haven't, it doesn't matter, we can just go here. And then here, you can either shoot this the boat over there, or you can just, navigate down between these spikes like that. Then we're going to head on to the right. here, we're going to just drop down and again move all the way to the right. And here we're going to drop down, move to the left, and then to the right again, this little zigzag pattern. And then here, this guy's going to break through this wall. We don't actually have to do anything with him. We can just ignore him completely. And either sentry jump up there or wall jump up there. I'm going to jump over here to the left. And then head up here. And there's kind of a cheeky quit command you can do. By just jumping in here, the spawn point actually moves up very slightly. So instead of where I just was, I've now spawned up here, which saves a tiny bit of time. You can see the save trigger there for it. If you don't want to do this one, it's not really a huge deal. This is, we're talking like half a second saved here, and that's only again for PC players. We're going to drop down here and pick up dash. Right, we're going to dash over to the right, and there's some spirit light beneath this platform here. So you can do it in two ways. You could either die. You can either just do it this quick way, or you can do it the safer way, and then just drop down like that and pick up the 200, and then as you jump out, dash again. We're going to be dashing back to the left because we don't want to go over to the right into the dungeon. We want to just sentry jump all the way out of here, like so. Then do another sentry jump here, and you can do this kind of awkward jump up here, but it's a bit more awkward than it looks. So I'd recommend just doing that to get out. And again, here you can upset this guy off the wall and jump cancel it. And again, here you can just jump up the wall, or you can do it like that. And here we're going to be heading onto the left. And what you have to do here is you have to make this crusher come down, dash out of the way, and then jump up and shoot your bow like that. And this is to get quick shot, which is a really important shard for later in the run to make us do the maximum amount of damage, as bow will be our primary source of damage. We're nearly out of energy, but that's okay, because we're going to get some energy now. And while it may look daunting to get out of here, let me just kill this guy just to get him out of the way for the sake of demonstration. So here what you do is you push up into the wall, and then just do a full jump. You can see on my controller I'm just holding A in for as long as I can. Or he balances right here and doesn't touch the spikes. So if you do a sentry jump now, you make it all the way out and you never have to deal with some spikes. And here we just do some last sentry jumps and we shoot this and do a quick to menu. And we can sentry jump again. And this cutscene's unskippable, so we have to watch it. Fortunately it has the Moki in it, who are the cutest guys in the whole world, so it's not the end of the world. And we just dash on past them. And if you want, you can pick up some more energy from this. It's up to you. Because you're going to need some energy for here. Now this is the Hornbug boss fight. And if you can see this here, that's where the trigger for the Hornbug fight is. Which we don't want to do. We're going to come back and do this fight later, as the rules still mean we have to do all the fights, but it's much quicker to do it after our bow is fully upgraded. So what we're going to do is get to this little branch thing, I guess, with the white leaves. I don't know what you call that. Just get onto it, and then we're going to aim for this vine in the top right. I'm going to essentially jump up, and then jump up here. And now, we're on this one backwards, as you can see. So we don't want to dash off this, because dashing off it does weird things to Ori. You can see Ori's upside down now. We don't want to dash off it because that will just mess up your controls. So instead, we want to just jump off it to the right, and then head on with our lives. The second part of the trigger is here, so as long as you don't step onto that, the boss fight won't trigger. We're now going to just head down here and pick up Bash. And this tree is one of the only ones that can't be quit to menued for some reasons. This one and Grapple are the only two like that. So we're just going to have to watch this out. Pick up Bash, and we're going to send jump up here to get the first of our next 100 Spirit Light. And we're going to just break this, which will let us pull this lever and do a quit to menu. Now, there's some spirit light up here we want to get. You can see it there. So what we want to do is these little leaves here, the ones closest to this part, you want to step right here and then do a full sentry jump up. That wasn't the full one. And that let us just about reach up here. And that gives us 100 spirit light. And now we can pick up a splinter, which is our next shard. We're not going to equip it quite yet because we're going to be getting one more shard. And we're going to equip all of them then. Pick up some energy here because we're running a bit low. And then we're going to be heading back up the way we came. Here, we can just do a sentry jump, and then we can do one more here, and head to the right, and pick up this energy refill. Here, we want to pick up some more spirit light. So slash this guy so he won't come out anymore, then stand right here and do a sentry jump, and you'll be able to get that 100 spirit light. I'm going to dash here to the right, and this is a part where the game locks you into walking, and there's kind of a weird thing here I have to explain. Prologue, the cutscene starts when you reach these leaves, but if you skip the cutscene either too early or too late, it doesn't mark this quest as complete, and completing the quest gives you 200 spirit light. So what you're going to do is get to these two little leaves out here, you can see them jutting above the rest, and just after that you want to skip the cutscene. If you don't skip this cutscene, there are backups available, different spirit light you can get, but this is the fastest one. So you want to just walk in here and then right about here, skip cutscene, and you can see the quest completed, and if I go to my spirit light, I have 750 now. I'll pick up the other two that are optional just to show what you can do instead. So if that didn't work for you for whatever reason, you can instead bash up here, bash off this guy, pick up this 100. And then moving over here will trigger this cutscene of the monkey opening the door. That's why we have to talk to Prologue, because it makes this cutscene trigger. And again, we don't want to touch the ground over here, because that will trigger the hornbug fight. So step right to about here, and it doesn't look like it, but you can actually reach this with just a double jump, like so. So with that, we're going to go back to this vine and then jump over to the left. So like that. And with that, we're basically over this section. Here, we can just send him up to this. And then we can bash off this guy to get up to the higher part. And then head on into town. And I'll make a quick save here just to show two things off. So you can just do this normally by just jumping into town, like so. And I'll just skip forward quickly with the speed up. You can stand here and just jump each time you reach the ground, like so. And that will not trigger the cutscene. And now, if you didn't get the spirit light from Prologue, the second type is just up here. Just do a sentry jump left of the fire pit, and dash behind those little leaves, and you can get the spirit light there. Just going to dash over, careful to move with the spikes. And then talk to Twillin. You can just mash X or whatever your shop button is to just get through and go straight into the shop. And whenever you buy something, I'll make a quick save just to show if I can. Whenever you buy something, the game doesn't let you move around at all while you're waiting. So what you do instead is if you go into the other menu, so the upgrades menu, which is mapped to RB for me, it'll skip that animation. So basically we're going to buy Overcharge, and as soon as we buy it, we want to head over here and buy this upgrade to Splinter. And these are the only two things we're going to buy from Twillin the whole run. So buy Overcharge, and then buy Splinter. And then we can just mash through, and there we go. And now to equip your shards, like I said, I play on controller, but personally I go to keyboard and mouse just to equip my shards quicker. Because you can see like that was really quick. Whereas if I did that manually, it would take a decent bit longer. I'm going to dash over to the left and then sentry jump up. You can see Overcharge makes us take double damage, but it makes all of our energy costs half as much, which means we can do a lot more sentry jumps. So here, we can sentry jump up and over this whole section. And we can head over there. If that like little dash thing is a bit like awkward, then you can just bash off this as well. And we're going to get some more Spirit Light. This is the first of the lot we need for Ophir with this route. So we can just head in here and pick up 100. And we want to just get this energy because we're running a bit low. And we want to get this 100 above this spitter. And bash up here. Like so. And then we're going to head over to the left. And you can either do a sentry jump here or wait for the guy to bash. I want to pick up some health here just because, you know, might as well. And then this cutscene is unskippable in this category, unfortunately, because it advances the quest order. Which is the only restriction we have, that we have to do everything within the quest order. So yeah, before anything else, we need to head down here. Again, you can choose to pick up this health if you want. We're going to be heading down here to the bottom left to break this little corruption. This cutscene will trigger as soon as you touch the ground. And to get out, you're going to dash over here and then bash up to here whenever there's a little gap in the spikes, like so. And that will allow you to just get through here, as long as we just wait for the pattern now. So we want to just bash off this guy. And now we want to head down to this section down lower. But if your health is a bit low, I'd recommend taking this save point, because otherwise you will go back a long time. The save point is just right here. With debug mode on, you can see this part here is the save point. So if you want to get the save point, you can. And what we're going to do is just grab onto this and just hold down, basically. And here at the bottom, we will be able to get this energy cell fragment. And now what we're going to do is just stand all the way over here on the left. What you can do actually is you can be holding left while doing a sentry jump. So if you just hold all the way to the left, I'm using my D-pad on keyboard, this would just be holding, you know, W and A at the same time. And while you're holding up and left, do your sentry jump right about here, and you'll grab onto this. And you can see that's one of the reasons to get the save point, because those spikes can kill you. It's normally pretty easy to notice when they can though, because if I turn the debug mode on, you can see the hitboxes are, you know, match the spikes pretty accurately. So these spikes are thicker, so have a bigger hitbox. So you can just wait it out to see when the spikes are going to be thinner, like so. And then you can head up normally and head into Wellspring. This is another unskippable cutscene. I'll just fast forward through it real quick. So now we're into Wellspring proper, and we're going to pick up this checkpoint on the right. So in Wellspring, fortunately, we can still skip a lot with sentry jumps. So the first thing I'm going to do is just head over here, and then we're going to head up to this thing up here. We can also just sentry jump up here, obviously, instead of having to go up and around. And we're going to sentry jump up to here and then break this. And that will give us enough time to make it over to the other, you know, one of these. So if we just wait for the right timing, we can dash onto it and then dash onto the pole. And here we go onto the next pole. And now here, you can either break that corruption on the left, or you can dash over here and then double jump up onto the moss like that. If you're not comfortable doing that, then you want to jump over and hit the corruption with the bow. But remember, we have Splinter on, which doesn't make the bow go as far. So you want to jump over and then do 2 shots like that. If you want, you can turn off Splinter just for this part. That's totally fine as well. Now over here, we can bash off this guy to get up onto these poles here, and we just want to take these poles all the way over. And again, we're going to ignore the main route. We're going to sentry jump instead. If you do a moving sentry jump, you can just head all the way up there. Otherwise, you can just do a normal sentry jump and then land on this and then do another one. Here, we want to do is just jump down between these spikes like so. And there we go, we're done with the first part of Wellspring, and it's actually pretty quick. Here we're going to head fully over to the left. And we're going to pick up Grapple. This is another one that you can't quit the menu for. Just over here to the right above it, stand about here, do a sentry jump, and you'll land perfectly at that spirit light. And then here, you can either sentry jump from here and get out like that, or you can do it the intended way, where you do 2 grapples into a third one. And then pull this lever and it's a quick to menu. So over here, instead of going up and around the hallway, what you can do is either do a sentry jump up and slash this, and it will break this little grapple thing, which allows you to get all the way over like that. But that grapple can be a bit tight, and it's also slower than just doing this normal way of just sentry jump over onto this, and then from that, launch yourself over here. And here we're going to just dash over to the left, dodge between the lasers. If you're fast enough, the cycle is perfect, and then duck down in here. And we're just going to wait for this, basically. And if you miss the cycle here, you can just wait for the next one. Don't try to brute force it, because you will die. Right, here is going to be the first combat arena, and the enemy spawns are completely consistent. However, if you stand too close to an enemy spawn, it won't spawn, which I will show with one of the spawns here. So the first thing that happens is something spawns top left. So I'm going to shoot up at it real quick. As it jumps, something spawns to the right. And as you can see, I'm too far to the left here, so nothing is spawning. But if I move slightly further to the right, this guy spawns immediately. And then there's one spawn top right, and one spawn top left. As it jumps, I wait for it to come down, and another spawn to the right here. And there we go. You want to pick up everything you can, just because that gives you enough energy. And there's another quick to menu right here. Here, just shoot up, 1, 2, 3. And you can dash at the end if you want. I'm just doing it because muscle memory. It's possible to dash into a save trigger there and quick to menu, but it's a bit more advanced, so I'm not going to bother showing it. And here we're just going to dash to the right and make it into the rotating room. Now here, we want to just dash into here. If you can't make that dash underneath there, you can also obviously just do that, but that's obviously a bit more difficult. Okay, so what we're going to do here is do a sentry jump up and then grapple to the right. And then what we do normally in this room is pull this lever and rotate it a bunch. What we're going to do instead is sentry jump up to here. And this is much easier if you're comfortable with doing a moving sentry jump. So we're going to move to the right and then just do hold. We're going to hold up and right the whole time and then just press sentry and slash on the same frame. And we make it up here like that. And that's a lot easier than doing it like this. It is possible to do it by just standing in the right place here. As you can see, even though this spike moves all over the place visually, it doesn't actually move at all in a tip box. So if we stand right about here, I guess, sentry jump up, you can see we can make it up like that as well. But that position is a bit more awkward, so I advise just learning how to do it moving instead. And here you want to just sentry jump past the cycle, and just wait for this to be able to grapple to it. And then grapple up, and then grapple up one more time. Wait for the lasers if you can. The lasers do 4 damage with overcharge on. And then here we just do this section as normal, basically. Sometimes the game likes to troll you. Break this, and it's another cutscene, which I'll just fast forward through. I'm just going to head down here and head out. And what we're going to do here is we're going to dash over here and grapple off this. And grapple off this, and we're just gonna, depending on the cycle, you either have to wait or you don't. We're gonna head in here and get ready to mash through some dialogue. And the last bit essentially that we need here is just on the left, and we're gonna need this for later. But talking to Ophir actually activates that spirit wall, so don't worry about going over to the left to get it. So we're going to talk to him, and we're going to buy fast travel here on the bottom right, which lets us just fast travel to anywhere, even if we're not standing on a spirit well, which is obviously very good. And we're going to sentry jump up to the top of the room. And there is a way to skip this cutscene, but as it's a bit advanced, I'm not going to bother going into it, and instead just enter the cutscene. If you're interested in learning how to do it, again, you can check out my guide, which will have the Wellspring Escape cutscene skip as a section on it, so you can just click that and check it. And for the escape, I'm going to do it in the beginner-friendly way, which basically is just, you know, doing it essentially casually. And whenever we do it, even like at the advanced level, it's pretty much just the same as normal, except with, you know, more tech or whatever and more dashes. It's normally not that big a change. It's very important you slash in time to the music there as well. And there you go. There's not much tech or anything like that to think about in the escape sequences, so you can just kind of enjoy them to your heart's content. And now this is the end of this first section of the guide, but there's one more very important thing we have to look at, and it's in the middle of this cutscene, which we can skip forward until we get to it. The Moki are going to say that the waters flow, but they're going to tell us that we're very brave, and we're so soggy, which is very important. And with that, we're just going to close the menu and head on to part 2.